symbolic Vaishnavism anymore.
By the way, the live stream is on now.
Yeah, no.
Okay, it's okay.
I don't know, secrets.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari.
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 Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari.
Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari.
Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari.
Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari.
Yashoda Nandana Vraja Jana Ranjana. Yashoda Nandana Vraja Jana Ranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parirajacharya Shatara Shata Shri Srimad Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parirajacharya Shatara Shata Shri Srimad Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai. Anantagari Vaishnavrinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Shila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem Shri Goho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Karadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhaktavrinda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopanatha Shamakunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Shri Vrindavan Dhama Ki Jai. Shri Mayapur Dhama Ki Jai. Yamuna Mai Ki Jai. Ganga Mai Ki Jai. Tulsi Devi Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Purantaraj Srimad-Bhagavatam Ki Jai. Samaveta Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. Nitai Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bo. O glorious the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. O glorious the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. O glorious the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. O glorious to Shri Guru and Garanga. O glorious to Srila Prabhupada.
Namo Shivaya Krishna Krishna Bhutale Srimad-Bhagavatam Swami Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravari Pacharane Vivishesha Shivali Paschata Deshatarane.
Hare Krishna. Welcome to the morning live stream. Expand the Bliss live stream, London. Very nice to see so many nice souls here this morning, like Ellen Rahasya and Krishna Mataji. Hare Krishna. Ellen was first this morning, so Ellen gets the special bliss points. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for coming, both lovely Matajis. Mr. Edmund Ruffin Lotspike. Very nice name. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. I'm not so good at the names from the Deutschland, but excuse me. Hare Krishna. Thank you for coming very much. Aradhana Mataji, of course. Thank you so much, Mataji, for coming. Arzu Agarwal, our classic Mataji gang here, the Bliss Mataji gang. Anjali, Hare Krishna. Mr. Anjali Vyomapada Prabhu. Nace Prabhu, Hare Krishna. Isaac Klein, how are things there in Germany, Prabhu?
Germany, he's from the Netherlands.
Yeah, he's traveling in Germany there.
Ah.
Yes, that's why he's been only able to come occasionally to the live stream because he gets Wi-Fi here and there.
I am sorry.
Yes, Hare Krishna, Isaac, thank you. Let me know how your travels are going.
Prabhu is on the road.
Makanchora Prabhu.
Yeah, he's on the road.
Ah,
He's
okay.
He's in Austria right now.
Wow, Makanchora Prabhu is
I
traveling.
don't know if you can catch the Wi-Fi.
It'd be cool if you could. Anyway, wish all good prayers for our Makanchora Prabhu. Bhakti Neil, Hare Krishna Prabhu, along with Alina Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Ooh.
So many nice souls. PJ Sharma, Hare Krishna. Welcome, Mr. PJ from Texas. So we're now going to do a class. As per usual, you're all expecting it. You're all waiting for it. Let me not get in your way. Hare Krishna Yadav. We're going to be studying the 19th verse of the first canto, 8th chapter. Hare Krishna Jitendra Kumar. Very nice name. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you so much for coming. So, as you're all expecting, we're going to continue our studies of Bhagavatam. We have a very interesting topic this morning. Women are more advanced. Why women are more advanced in Krishna consciousness than men? So, if this sounds like an interesting topic for you, please stay throughout the whole live stream. There'll be a questions and answers and discussion section at the end at 9:30, so you can pose whatever you might have come to your mind to His Grace Purujit Prabhu at the end of the class period. And like that, please like the Facebook page, and yes, then you won't miss a single lovely live stream like the one we also have on Wednesday, 7 p.m. we have a Bhagavad Gita study. So if you couldn't get enough Krishna Katha, if you couldn't fill your mind with Krishna topics, then we have another class on Wednesday, apart from our everyday classes like this Srimad-Bhagavatam. PJ says he's out because of the class topic. Please don't leave, PJ. Don't worry, we're gonna satisfy both the male body devotees and the female body devotees in this class. The inconceivable power of Purujit Prabhu. So if you haven't checked out the previous podcast, the newest podcast that we just released, very exciting, a new era, a revolution in podcasting from the Bliss podcast has arrived. We have introduced video. So if you ever wanted to see what we look like when we're recording the podcast, I don't know why you want to see that, but anyway, we now have introduced video with multiple angles, and it's very dynamic. So go and check it out. We talked about what the non-Hare Krishnas think about us. We analyzed a documentary about the Hare Krishnas, and I did it with His Grace Purujit Prabhu, so it was very exciting. Please go kindly check out, and I'm sure that Davil Prabhu or Nace will put the link in the chat below. If you like any of the content that we're putting out regularly, you can support us with a donation, whatever it might be. From your heart, you can give a little something. We have a Just Giving link, and it will help us continue to expand our online Seva. Arzu just watched it, okay, and she liked it. Thank you very much, Arzu, for checking it out. That's very nice of you. There's a little, at the beginning, don't worry, these technical difficulties that you find at the beginning of the podcast, they don't continue throughout the whole podcast. The sound is good. It smoothens out, and so does the video quality. It's very slow at the start while the program is adjusting, but eventually all that smoothens out. So please bear with us as we use our ancient technology to bring you all this content. Yeah, Krishna Vision. Okay, you remember. Yeah, so that was our crazy angle we had there on the podcast. So based on Arzu's recommendation, please go check it out. And now we'll get into... Sorry?
That's nice. Arzu
actually watched it.
Yeah. Watched it.
Yeah, very nice.
Very nice.
Even she remembered something from it, so...
Unbelievable.
Yeah, that's very encouraging. Probably the only feedback we got...
Probably the only viewers.
Probably Arzu's probably the only viewer. Just kidding. I know that many people are watching it here, at least the people on the live stream are watching it. Hare Krishna Subhash. Such a nice name. So let's now get into a study with His Grace and chant some shlokas. Hare Krishna.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 So we're reading from the Srimad-Bhagavatam, first canto, chapter 8. So, yes. Okay, I have a few purports here to read to you about women and Krishna consciousness.
It is 1819, right?
The 20.
Ah.
Yeah, this is 20. Tata Paramahansanam
Tatha Paramahamsanam
Muninam Amalatmanam
Muninam Amalatmanam
Bhakti Yoga Bihanak Kam
Bhakti Yoga Vidhanatham
Katam Pashima Histriya
Katham Pashima Histriyaha Tatha Paramahamsanam
Tata Paramahansanam
Muninam Amalatmanam
Muninam Amalatmanam
Bhakti Yoga Vidhanatham
Bhakti Yoga Bidanatam
Katham Pashima Histriyaha
Katam Pashena Histriyaha Tatha. Besides that, Paramahansanam of the advanced transcendentalists. Muninam of the great philosophers or mental speculators. Amalatmanam, those whose minds is competent to discern between spirit and matter. Bhakti Yoga, the science of devotional service. Vidanatam, for the matter of executing. Katam, why? Pashyema, can observe. He, certainly. Striyaha, the woman folk. The woman folk. Translation: you descend yourself for executing the mission of propagating the transcendental science of devotional service unto the heart of the advanced transcendentalists and mental speculationists who are purified by discerning between matter and spirit. How then we, the woman folk, can know you perfectly? Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Even the greatest philosophical speculationists cannot have any access in the region of the Lord. It is said in the Upanishads that the Supreme Truth, Absolute Personality of Godhead, is beyond the range of thinking power of the greatest philosopher. As such, he is unknowable by great learning or by the greatest brain. He is only knowable by one who has His mercy only. Others may go on thinking about Him for years together, yet He is unknowable. This very fact is corroborated by the Queen, and she is playing the part of an innocent woman. The woman folk as a class are unable to speculate like a philosopher, but they are blessed by the Lord because they believe at once in the superiority and all-mightedness of the Lord, and thus offer obeisances without any reservation. The Lord is so kind that He does not show any special favor to anyone who is a great philosopher. He knows the sincerity of purpose. For this reason only the woman folk generally assemble in greater number in any sort of religious function. in every country and in every sect of religion, it appears that the woman folks are more interested than the opposite sex. This simplicity of acceptance of the authority of the Lord by anyone is more effective than showy religious fervor without any sincerity of purpose. Om Agyan Tirinandasyam Gyanajana Shalakayam Chakshunam Manitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkness of ignorance, and my spiritual master is divine grace. A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada has opened my darkened eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. I offer my humble obeisances unto his lotus feet. Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. So, this is Queen Kunti. Prabhupada mentions here that Queen Kunti was playing a role of an innocent woman. Hare Krishna, Padmalocham Prabhu, Hare Krishna, Hare Bol. Nice to see you. So, we should understand that Queen Kunti, she's not like a woman, materialistic woman, or any sort of a woman. She is a pure devotee. She is completely perfect in everything. She is 1 billion times more advanced than all the male devotees on a neophyte stage. Just like we worship Arjuna as a devotee of Krishna, he is also worshipable. Similarly, Queen Kunti is also Nitya Siddha, a pure devotee, eternal associate of Krishna, who descends along with Krishna to assist him in his pastimes when he comes. It is not that Krishna comes alone. It's like a loner. He comes alone into the material world. He comes with all his entourage to enjoy his pastimes. It's a wonderful, transcendental party. Actually, it is so. Krishna descends to this world by his Yogamaya potency. This Yogamaya potency's purpose is to give pleasure to the Lord. When we appear in this world from the womb of the mother, it is not out of pleasure. It is out of force. We're being pushed into this material existence. So there is a fundamental difference between an ordinary woman and a highly elevated Vaishnavi such as Queen Kunti. We should not make misunderstanding. Queen Kunti is as good as Krishna. But in order to show the example, for the female population of this world, she acts as an innocent woman. She's pretending, oh, I am a foolish woman. If you think that, oh, Queen Kunti, she was a little foolish, immediately Yamaraj, destination Yamaraj for you. You make great aparat, great Vaishnava aparat, great offense to a pure devotee. So we should understand this point. And in this mood of reverence and submission to a pure devotee, Queen Kunti, we should study what she says. What are her instructions? Unless you accept that the spiritual master or a devotee is perfect, you cannot hear from him with submission. Why would you want to submit to a person who is imperfect? That is not sincerity. You know that a person is not perfect and you surrendering to such a person. That means you are a cheater. You want to be cheated. Right? So, Queen Kunti is acting as though she was an ordinary woman. Now, what is the difference between men and women? Now we must know, very, very scientifically we must take it. We must know the difference. On the spiritual platform, there is no difference. We are not this body, right? If you think, oh, I'm a woman, they're offending me because they say I'm less intelligent, then you are indeed less intelligent. Why? Because you are not the body. If you think, oh, I am the body, they're offending me, the body, you're less intelligent. You must be dhira. You must be self-realized. Every devotee girl, she should not think I'm a woman. She should think I'm a devotee of Krishna. Right? But because we're not yet out of the clutches of material nature, we have certain duties in this world. So for that reason, we must know what is the difference between the duty of a woman and a duty of a man. See, Arjuna also, he wanted to, oh, I'm not this body, why should I fight in this war? Krishna says, no, you are a Kshatriya, you must do your duty. You're a Kshatriya, you must protect the citizens. Not that in the name of Krishna consciousness you escape. That will not make you advanced. Actually, Krishna says at that point that, Arjuna, you are a pretender. You're pretending. You're a pretender. Don't pretend. Act within your material designation, but at the same time, think of me. That is Krishna consciousness. So, this is very bad advice to tell girls that, oh, you are not this body, you are spiritual, you are transcendental, you are free from sex desire, so you can do anything and everything and it's okay. Very bad. But this is going on now. In a modern civilization, modern society, there is a mixing, girls and boys mixing. They say, oh, we don't have any such sex desire. We control the sex desire. We have sex whatever we want. No, you're completely under the clutches, under the influence of the senses. And that is why people have sex life. Then there's unwanted population. Then this unwanted population floods the world. They create so much disturbance. There's war. There's COVID. There's so many things. So it is very important that the girls, they understand the duty. And unfortunately, there is very little example. So Srila Prabhupada says that the girls in Krishna consciousness, they can take example from these highly elevated devotees who descend to this world with Krishna in a female form. So Queen Kunti was one of them. See, Queen Kunti was so elevated, a pure devotee. But even she, although she was so intelligent that there's a whole chapter in the Bhagavatam, prayers of Kunti. It is not that, the Shastra is, what do they say? Only for men. It's written by men and only for men. This is nonsense. This is actually offensive. Here you see a woman is giving instruction. Woman is a guru also. Not that only man can be guru. Women can also be guru, why not? Everyone can help in this Krishna consciousness movement. No one is barred. Even a monkey can take part in this Krishna consciousness movement, just like Hanumanji. Right? So what to speak of women? But the way how a woman is behaving, a man, is a little different. Why? Just so there is no sexual tension. For this reason. If the man is sincere, he must understand this sex desire, sex life is abominable. This is the cause of our material existence. Similarly, the woman should also understand this point. Oh yes, sex life is abominable. I should watch out. I should be careful. If she's not careful, she's not sincere. She's a rascal also. Woman can also be a rascal. We are all rascals in this world because we have disobeyed Krishna. We have rebelled against Krishna. That's why we're taking these forms. Man, woman, ugly, beautiful, tall, small, black, white. So, Queen Kunti is showing the example. Always under the protection of men. Even her husband, Maharaj Pandu, he died. She did not go into independence. No independence. She would be protected by her sons, the Pandavas, 5 Pandavas. She would not go alone anywhere. Always under the protection of the Pandavas. So this is the number one difference. A woman should always be protected. It is her nature to always look for protection. This is the nature of woman. So the girls, they should know, oh, I have this nature. I'm looking for protection. So I must make sure that I am protected by a qualified person. That should be the idea. And just like our relationship with Krishna. Our relationship with Krishna is now we are always servants. There is never a point for a jiva that he is without service. That is his constitutional position. This is our sanatana dharma, service, propensity to serve. So if you don't serve Krishna, you will serve Maya. Similarly, if the woman is not serving a man, qualified, husband, father, son, like that, she will be serving some other man, unqualified man, and she will be exploited. You see? So, just like for a rebellious jiva, if he's thinking, why should I serve? I am independent. Why should I serve this Krishna? I don't need God. Similarly, if this attitude is present in a girl, the more she thinks like that, the more she becomes exploited. That is confirmed by Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita. Prakriti kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvasa ankara vimudatma kartaham iti manyate. So, this is, you can say, Prabhupada calls it the womanly weakness. You can call it a weakness. It is a weakness. But that weakness can be a great strength if the woman has a qualified husband or qualified father. Father, husband, son, qualified son also. Then that dependency turns into a great asset. Great asset. Just like if you are riding a skateboard, right? And then you hold the back of a car. And the car goes, you don't have to make any effort. You go automatically by catching the car. You go on your skateboard. So, if a woman is guided by a qualified husband, because of her nature of dependency, she makes tremendous advancement. You see? So it is weakness and at the same time strength. Everything depends on the individual circumstances. Not that it is stereotyped that women are less intelligent or they're fools and they should be offended and so, no. Similarly, the girl should also not think, oh, I am very intelligent, I am better than men, or I'm equal to men. That is also dangerous. You see, so we should not see it black and white. We should very nicely study, deeply study what actually is the position of women. Because this creates a lot of disturbance. Most of the disturbance is because of the sex impulse and the interaction with the genders, the opposite genders. This is the greatest obstacle in Krishna consciousness, in advancement. So, this dependency and simple-mindedness, that's why we say women are less intelligent. Intelligence means the ability to see things from a proper perspective. That is the definition of intelligence. Not necessarily that you have to have a PhD degree and you know how to repeat some sophisticated language very fast. No. It's the power of discernment, the power of discrimination. So women, they don't have this. They do, of course, they have intelligence, but not so sharp as men. This is a fact. And that is why the women are very prone to be misled, very easily fooled. You can see that most of the businesses, they make money of women. All the cosmetics and the magazines and the furniture. This is because the women are buying. Women are very good customers. Even in our book distribution, we see that most of the customers, most of the people who buy the books are women. Right, Maitreya? Yeah. It's true. So, see, businessmen, they're thinking how to cheat the woman, how to impress her so she gives the husband's money to buy the product. And why is this? Why is this? Is it some kind of a 19th century invention, some imposition, some chauvinistic gender role imposed, manufactured by the patriarchal society? No. It is biological. It is related to biological design of woman's body. The woman's body has the ability to bear children. And not just that. Her body is full of lust. Actually, Srila Prabhupada says that the women are 9 times more lustier than men. 9 times more sexually lusty. So why is that? Because the baby needs this. The baby needs affection. The baby needs that the body of the mother is very, very sensual. Because then the baby can get the affection. See, the baby is thrown into this world. The baby is thrown into this world. So when the mother takes care, gives affection, puts the baby on her lap like that, the baby feels great comfort. You see? The love of the mother for the child, there is nothing higher in this world. There is nothing higher. So for this reason, the women are more lusty. It is not that we should offend, that women are very, very perv like that. No, it's nothing to do with it. This is a biological setup in nature created by Krishna, so the family can grow very nicely in a symbiotic relationship. Everything is perfectly arranged. So, because there's a lust in the body, it affects the whole personality of a woman. And we know from the Bhagavad Gita also, Krishna says the lust is the killer of self-realization and theoretical knowledge. So the lust interferes with this ability to discern, the ability to discriminate. Is that clear? We must very scientifically study, without any prejudice, scientifically, logically. And if you study this, you will see that it makes perfect sense. There's no question of insulting women or offending women. We must give great respect. But at the same time, we must know how the material world is working in order to give them the proper treatment, protection. It's like if you want to serve anyone, you must know what is his nature in order to serve him or her in the way that is comfortable, is pleasing to that person. So this is why it is stated in the Shastra that women are less intelligent. Okay? They have a great affection for the children that men do not have. The man's body doesn't have so much sensuality. Doesn't have. The men, they want to fight all the time. You can see in school, the girls are not fighting. Sometimes they fight, of course, we're all conditioned souls, but not so much. The boys, they take great pleasure, watching, wrestling and fighting, and they always fight. So it's nicely balanced. The husband, he fights for bread. The woman gives affection with her sensual body to the baby. So the baby grows up like a decent citizen, decent person. If the baby doesn't get the affection from the mother, he's incomplete. The whole life he will be incomplete, looking for that affection from others and creating disturbance. If your mom didn't give you affection in your childhood, no one can replace that. Sometimes we see that the men, they want that sort of affection from the wife. They want to make the wife the mother. And that is a tremendous burden for the wife. The wife needs protection. She needs guidance. She needs direction. She needs to be taken care of. And if the husband is incomplete, if he wants affection that he didn't get from his mother, from the wife, there's this balance in a relationship. You see? Very scientific. So, now, this lack of intelligence or less intelligence in a woman becomes an asset in Krishna consciousness. Why? Prabhupada explains very nicely. Krishna is unknowable by great learning or by the greatest brain. He is only knowable by one who has his mercy only. Others may go on thinking about him for years together, yet he is unknowable. What does Krishna says? What does Krishna say in the Bhagavad Gita? Bhaktyamam abhijanati. I can only be known by devotional service. If you want to know Krishna, your intelligence is not enough. It's not enough. That's not what will make you understand Krishna. You cannot penetrate into the mysteries of the Krishna science simply with your intelligence. It is not so easy. That you have some good ability to speculate and you can understand Krishna. Krishna is understood by revelation, diksha, divyam gyan. Divyam gyan is not a regular theoretical gyan, knowledge. It is realized knowledge. Realized. There's a difference between gyan and vigyan. Theoretical knowledge and realized knowledge. Many times I give this example because I am a musician. So I remember I would be reading a book about how to play the guitar. So the different chords, different notes, history of the instrument, guitar, and so on and so on. So you can read such a book and you can get theoretical knowledge, but unless you take a guitar and you strike the chords and you play, your knowledge is not realized. You see? And sometimes there are musicians who never learn any history, any notes, nothing. For example, the Beatles. You know the band, the Beatles? They did not know how to read notes. They didn't need it. They learned it by hearing. By hearing. They would listen to some blues records, some, jazz. And they would learn by hearing. That is possible. I also learned the guitar. I don't know how to read notes. I learned the guitar by listening to other musicians and imitating the sound. So, this is important, that we play the guitar. In other words, if one has great intelligence, great brain, but he does not engage in devotional service, then he is less than a simple devotee, simple girl, simple Mataji, who might not know so many things, who might not have the ability to speculate, like Prabhupada says here. She's unable to speculate like a philosopher. But she is rendering service that is more pleasing to Krishna than such a so-called scholar. And actually, that is not less intelligent, that is the greatest knowledge. How to render devotional service. And the greatest example are the gopis. See, gopis are the most highly elevated devotees. How can anyone say that this is a chauvinistic religion or cult or patriarchal cult? How can anyone say this? Lord Chaitanya, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the last appearance of Krishna in this world, he says that I want to be the servant of the gopis. I want to serve the gopis. He's putting the gopis as an example of the highest form of advancement in Krishna consciousness. And the gopis, they were not Vedic scholars. They're simple village girls. Of course, they're also Nitya Siddhas. They're eternally perfected devotees. But they were serving Krishna in a very simple way, by offering him milk sweets and dancing with him and so on and so on. You see, so this simplicity is so important in Krishna consciousness. And that is why also Prabhupada says here, majority of attendance in any religious function, just like here on our live streams also, see, Srila Prabhupada is not speaking something unrelatable. We have most of the viewers are girls. We have Ellen, our Victoria, our Aradhana, Gordana, so many girls. Right? The boys are not so fond. What is nonsense, Purujit? Why should I listen to this nonsense? They have this ego. See? They have the ego. They want to fight. They want to compete. They're not so much interested. But the girls, because they have this simple nature, they hear with great attention and they render service. I want to read you something. This is from the 6th canto. I posted a few purports on the Bliss family recently. This is from the 18th chapter of the 6th canto. Diti vows to kill King Indra. And there are some very negative, very negative descriptions of a woman as a class. Her heart is sharp like a razor, like the blade of a razor, that is mentioned there, and so on, so on. But also very nice qualities are depicted. I want to read you one particular passage. Okay, here. Diti replied, "My dear Brahmana, I must accept your advice and follow the vow. Now let me understand what I have to do, what is forbidden, and what will not break the vow. Please clearly state all this to me." So Diti, in this instance, she prayed to Kashyapa Muni, her husband. She was asking for benediction. So Kashyapa Muni, he said, "Of course, whatever you want." And she asked, "I want a son who can kill Indra." So she desired something very nonsense, right? To kill Indra. Indra is a demigod. You can't do that. So he was obliged, Kashyapa Muni was obliged to fulfill that benediction. So this is where the negative descriptions were stated. You can read it in your spare time. It's many purports where Prabhupada explains the weaknesses of a woman. So Kashyapa Muni, he very intelligently, he gave her a process of austerities. If she follows, then her desire will be fulfilled. But at the same time, by performing that devotional service, she will become purified from this demonic desire to kill Indra. So now Diti is saying, "My dear Brahmana, I must accept your advice and follow the vow. Now let me understand what I have to do, what is forbidden, and what will not break the vow. Please clearly state all this to me." So here Srila Prabhupada is explaining the positive qualities in a woman. He writes, Prabhupada writes, "As stated above, a woman is generally inclined to serve her own purposes. Kashyapa Muni proposed to train Diti to fulfill her desires within 1 year. And since she was eager to kill Indra, she immediately agreed, saying, 'Please let me know what the vow is and how I have to follow it. I promise that I shall do the needful and not break the vow.' This is another side of a woman's psychology. Even though a woman is very fond of fulfilling her own plans, when someone instructs her, especially her husband, she innocently follows, and thus she can be trained for better purposes. By nature, a woman wants to be a follower of a man. Therefore, if the man is good, the woman can be trained for a good purpose." You see? So, this is how a woman can become a highly elevated devotee if she is engaged for a good purpose. So, Srila Prabhupada, he engaged so many girls. When Srila Prabhupada was here physically, he is always here and he's still engaging many girls in Krishna consciousness. But in his manifested Leela, he had so many female disciples, and they have done tremendous service for the movement. And Srila Prabhupada said that there should be no difference in our Krishna consciousness. Whatever the men do, the women should also do. In other words, if the man can do deity worship, the woman can also do deity worship, provided they follow the regulative principles. If the man can give a class, just like I'm giving class now, women can also give class. And men should listen. They should not be, oh, she's a woman, why should I listen? No. If she speaks according to what Prabhupada says, then you must respect her. You should not be dull-headed that, oh, she's a woman. You must hear. Even new devotees, I like to hear from new devotees, because everyone has an individual viewpoint of Krishna consciousness. Not necessarily that different interpretation, but everyone is an individual, and everyone is receptive to Krishna consciousness from a different angle of vision. So we can learn even from a neophyte, new devotee, new bhakta. He might not be even initiated. If he reads Srila Prabhupada's books and he appreciates some idea from Srila Prabhupada and repeats and he shares it with you, you are hearing from Srila Prabhupada, because Srila Prabhupada has inspired him to speak, or inspired her to speak. So if you are so dull-headed, if you think, oh, he's a new devotee, or oh, she's a woman, then you're cutting yourself off from Srila Prabhupada's association. You cannot make much advancement like this. Srila Prabhupada is preaching to you through so many different channels. So take it. You'll be very elevated. You have Prabhupada's association 24 hours. If you understand this point, that Prabhupada is preaching to you through the mouths of the devotees, you'll be very advanced. So the girls should be encouraged. At the same time, they should not be exploited. That we encourage the girls with the ulterior motive of exploitation. Now we flatter them. That's another weakness of a woman, that she likes to hear flattery. Everyone likes to hear flattery, but especially girls. They can be easily tricked. So if we flatter them with this idea, you are independent, you are this, and so on, with the idea of exploiting, that is not a good idea. That's why this emphasis on marriage, why girls should be married. It is not that it is mandatory, that we have to force, but it is intelligence. It is intelligence to guide the girls in this direction, to get a good husband. Of course, the husband must be also qualified. It's very simple. If you study Srila Prabhupada's books, he explains all these points. There's sometimes tension between the genders in the Krishna consciousness movement. So this is because of not reading properly, not analyzing, because the false ego comes, the bodily conception of life comes. That's why all these misconceptions are created. There's one misconception, is that the girls, they should be independent and we should treat them equally, just like men. It's one misconception. And another misconception is that women, they should be insulted and defamed and put down and so on. So don't fall into any of these misconceptions, and everything is going to be wonderful. This Krishna consciousness will be wonderful. The girls, they supply the energy. They give the energy. Just like when you see the girls dressed in sari, it is so transcendental, so beautiful. It is not a lusty type of beautiful. It is transcendentally beautiful. It inspires you transcendentally. You see? And the boys, they do the brain work. The girls, they appreciate this. When the men, they take charge and they resolve important issues. They set up the system. They collect the finances like that. They rule in a nice way. The girls, they appreciate this very much. It is not that they don't like it. They like it. They appreciate it, provided you rule with intelligence. So combinedly, the Krishna consciousness movement will very nicely spread. And if we offend men, if we offend women, and we get into these petty fights on Bali platform, nothing will work, and the people who are supposed to get Krishna consciousness from us, they will never understand anything. They will never get the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. You see? So be very careful about this. This bodily conception, man, female, bodily designation, and fights, arguments over these things. Don't get involved in this. Focus on Krishna consciousness, and everything is going to be wonderful and ecstatic. Okay, so any questions? If you have any questions, please don't hesitate. Don't be shy. Oh, Ellen has to go. Okay. Okay, so Nace Prabhu has a question. If I understand, this means because of their lust, they have more. Krishna Chaitanya. Sorry, it's a little difficult for me to read these comments. Because of their lust, they have more love for the child, for the husband, and for the Lord. Yes, that's precisely the point. They have love, tremendous love. You can say love is blind, right? So from that point of view, the girls, they lack discrimination sometimes. They have a different type of intelligence. They have the intuitive intelligence. Krishna has given them a different type of intelligence. They know by heart. They can sense. The husband can also take guidance from the woman because she can feel something. She can feel, she can have intuition. By feeling, she can understand better than men. So, yeah, that's why they can surrender immediately to Krishna and render service. Yeah, Arzu is asking, is it because they're more emotional? Yes. Same point. Okay, Padmalochan Prabhu like the class. Okay, that's good. Any ladies have any question on this point? Might be a little difficult. I can clarify if you find something difficult to deal with or something doesn't make sense. Please don't hesitate. Ladies, devotees, Hare Krishna, you can ask. You can even ask after the live stream is over. You can write a comment, and if you tag me, then I can write a little later. Okay, Prabhus, thank you so much. Grantaraj Srimad-Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank Guru Premanandi. Namo Vishnu Paraya Krishna Guru Srimad-Bhagavatam. Samani Rama Namaste Saraswati Guru Mani Acharya Devi Shishya Shunam Acharya.
Hare Krishna. Hari Bol. Take care, Prabhus.